Just a word of advice, if you're going to record a video, turn on your microphone. This is take 2 of the entire video. Hey guys, I'm back with another bonus video this week, and I know I said I was going to be doing a roundup on things like this. These are pocket utility blades that you can put in your EDC and carry everywhere with you. But after I uploaded the last video, a company reached out and said, hey, I'd like you to try mine as well. And I was like, oh, well, then I'll wait to include that one. And then I've since reached out to another company and I'm looking at several more utility knives. So I figured I'd put that video off for now and explain why you might want to carry one of these instead of or alongside a pocket knife. But before I do that, I just have to say, holy crap. When I uploaded the last video, we had just hit 12,000 subscribers. That video now has 20,000 views and we're like just this far from 14,000 subscribers in 3 days. That's insane. Thank you. But anyway, here are 7 reasons you should consider adding a utility knife to your EDC and 3 reasons why you shouldn't. The first reason why you should add or consider a utility blade in your EDC is something that applies to most of the ones I've tried or the ones that are headed my way. And it's because they're not traditional utility knives. It's not like the carpet knife you use to remove the carpet. It's not that big utility knife. Instead, they are very, very small and lightweight. And when I say many of them disappear in the pocket, I mean it. I put this in the change pocket on the right side above the main pocket in my pants or my shorts, and it's easy to forget that it's there. It's like it's not even there. This thing weighs probably around an ounce, maybe a little over. It's super, super small, super lightweight. This is a screw pop, and same thing for this. This one is just super, super tiny. And while there are a ton of tiny knives out there like the Spyderco Bug or Victorinox Classic SD, these things, even the big utility knives that are meant for EDC, are still quite small and really quite lightweight, but most importantly, very, very thin. The second reason is you don't have to worry about doling the blade on your primary knife. Whether you carry something like a CRKT Polar or something like a Spyderco Shaman, it does not matter. You don't have to worry about doling that blade. I would go out on a limb and say that 95% of people who carry a knife in their daily use primarily use it to open boxes and packages, and that's really hell on your blade. Cardboard is your knife's natural enemy. That's just the way it is, but you don't have to do that if you have something like this in your pocket. That's where these things excel. They're great at just tearing through those things, and guess what? It doesn't matter if you dull it. It just doesn't matter. You don't have to worry about it. That brings me to the third reason you should consider a utility knife in your EDC, and that's because when you do dull one of these blades, which is going to happen inevitably, they're not made with really nice steel, you can just swap out the blade. Just pop it out, and guess what? Turn it around. Use that other side for a while, and you've got another blade for however long it lasts, and when you're done with that one, pop it out, throw in a new one, you're done. You can buy these things for super, super cheap. You can get them in different quality levels. You can get them in ceramic, titanium coated. There are a bunch of different utility blades out there. They're available pretty much everywhere. You can find them at Walmart, gas stations, hobby stores, craft stores, hardware stores. These blades are universal. You can find them pretty much anywhere. And of course, that brings me to reason number 4. Because these things are removable, completely removable, you toss it to the side, you can hop on a plane with this. Most of them, I would imagine. I don't know that all of them are TSA friendly, probably not all of them, because some of them may have other tools built in, but in the case of something like this, the titanium pocket tool, you can take that blade out before you head through TSA, and then whenever you get to your destination, go to any of those stores that carry these blades, spend $1 or $2, and you've got more than enough to get you through your trip, and you've got a blade with you. So you don't have to check a bag to take a knife with you anymore. Just pop by a store, get a few utility blades, and you've got something with you on the road. But let's say that you don't want a knife when you're traveling, or you don't have time to stop by a store. If you pocket something like this when you're traveling, or even if you're not, these things often double, not always, but often double as multiple tools in one. So reason number 5 is that these are usually more than just knives. This one in particular has a universal bit driver here in the opening. This is a bottle opener or cap lifter. That is a flathead screwdriver or pry bar. And this right here is a 1/4-inch bit driver. So you've got a lot of useful tools in this. And when I travel, I don't go anywhere. I really don't go anywhere at all without this thing, because this is the perfect tripod tool for removing the quick plate from your tripod or your camera. That right there is one of my favorite reasons for carrying this tool right here. But even this tool from Outdoor Edge, you've got a Phillips head screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, a bottle opener right there, and this also could act as a pry bar. So most of these things, not all of them, double as other tools. Reason number 6 is because these things are super discreet to carry. So yeah, they're small and lightweight, but a lot of them are super discreet as well. If you had this on your keychain, most people would see this and not know exactly what that is. But you can also just deep carry it in your pocket. Same goes for this. A lot of the time, especially if you don't have a blade in it, nobody knows what this thing is. It's not immediately apparent what the titanium pocket tool is. So you can be very, very discreet about what it is. But this, when it's closed up, even if it's in your pocket, is way more discreet than a big, bulky tactical knife or something. So if you want to be discreet and still have something that can open packages or cut string off your shirt or whatever you need your knife for, a utility blade is often a very, very discreet carry option. The 7th and final reason that you should consider an EDC utility knife is because in many cases they are super cheap. A perfect example of that is when I decided I wanted to do this video and the roundup, I went on Amazon and started looking for really small utility knives, and I came across this one. And there are a lot of different ones like this. This is from Work Pro. I also have this one right here, which is from Mossy Oak. Literally the same thing. Didn't realize that when I bought them. Both of them come in multi-packs. This one I got 3 for $17.99, and the Mossy Oak, which is literally identical with a stonewash finish, that one was a 2-pack for, I think, $15. So really quite cheap if you want to go that way. Of course, they can get very expensive in a hurry, like the titanium pocket tool, but this one, which is technically a craft knife, was $7. The screw pop was only $9. The Gerber EAB, which you can find at pretty much any Lowe's or Home Depot, they carry this thing in hardware stores and it's very easy to find. This one's $10 in store, but you can get it online for like $7-8. And even one of the more expensive options out there was like $15 for one. So very cheap if you go that route. You can spend upwards of $150, $200 on a utility knife like a Rexford Rut, but you don't have to at all. You can also get a knockoff of that design on Amazon, which I don't necessarily recommend. I'll get to that when I do the roundup, but you can get something like that for cheap. This thing's heavy, not exactly fun to use, but if you want something, even to see if you might want to spend a little more money, you can get your foot in the door for about $10-15. But just be careful with the knockoffs, because utility blades are super sharp, and something that's really unwieldy, not exactly an ideal combination. Okay, so those 7 reasons why you should are out of the way, but it's not all great. It's not perfect. There are cons to utility knives. The first of which is poor ergonomics. It is really difficult to get a good grip on this. This is why I added this lanyard. This one is not as good as the 550 paracord lanyard I had. This is microcord. It's hard to get a good purchase on something like a titanium pocket tool, and many of the others, the ergonomics are not great. I will say, of the ones I've tried, the one from Outdoor Edge has the best ergonomics. It's got some jimping on the top for your thumb, and it's got little finger grooves cut on the bottom, so you can really actually get a good grip on this thing. But even then, you're only gripping it with 2.5 fingers at most. But really, you would only ever want to use one of these for light duty work. And another reason for that is because the cutting area is very small. I would say anywhere from about a 3/4 of an inch to maybe at most 1.5 inches. But really only if you push the limits with something like a Linux blade that's got 4 different depth grooves, and you can actually push that. It's not even 1.5 inches. It's really at most about 1 inch. So if you've got a bigger task at hand, this thing is probably not going to do the job. You're probably going to need your primary blade, something with a little more purchase, a bigger cutting edge, and probably a little more sturdy blade, because these things also break. You can break the tip off of these blades quite easily. Third and final reason why you shouldn't is it's just something else to carry. If you don't mind throwing one more thing into your EDC, this does not apply to you. But if you try to keep things minimal, you can either get rid of your main knife and carry something like this, but are you really going to want to add another piece of gear to your EDC? With something like the titanium pocket tool, you can replace your pry bar, and then you're not necessarily adding gear to your EDC, you're just replacing it with something that's got more function. Or you can use something like the screw pop, throw it on your keychain, forget it's there, and it's just there if you need it, but it's not really adding a ton of bulk. But still, if you're trying to keep things bare minimum, you're just gonna have to add something else to your EDC. Even if you throw it inside your wallet, whatever, If you're minimal, you might not need something like this, or if you do carry this, you can just get rid of the primary blade. You may not need it as much as you thought you did. So there you go. There are 7 reasons why you should EDC a utility knife, 3 reasons why you shouldn't. Let me know in the comments down below if you're interested in carrying one yourself or if you already do. And of course, if you want to see the roundup of all the ones you should try, with the exception to the Rexford Rut, because it's ridiculously expensive. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can see that video when I upload it. I'm shooting it as soon as all of the different knives come my way and arrive. So also hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload that video. Also, if you do carry a utility knife in your EDC, let me know which one in the comments down below. And if there's one you really, really want to see, let me know in the comments down below. And if I have time, maybe I'll add that to my roundup as well, because I'm sure there are some out there that I've, not even heard of before, or that I'm overlooking. So be sure to follow us around the web. You can find the channel on Twitter and Instagram at bestdamnedc. I'm very, very active on Instagram. You can find me, Taylor Martin, on Twitter and Instagram at Casper Tech. And until next time, carry on.